Hi guys, can you hear me? I'm not sure. Let me know if you can hear me. A love heart or a thumbs up or a hello. Well, that's if there's anyone there. It says there's two waiting, but no one's joined. But I'm more than happy to talk to myself. Someone can hear me because I've just seen a love heart. So perfect. So I will just hang on a little minute for some people to join. Hi, Karen. Hi. Oh, thank God. I thought I was going to be here for the next 2 hours all on my own. How are you, Karen? What's it like where you are? It's rainy and miserable here, but exciting inside. So that's all that matters, isn't it? That's all that matters. So we will hang on. Hi. Is it Maeve? I'm having a guess. I'm rubbish, I'm rubbish at pronunciations and English in general. Very well. Sun's just come out. Oh, it's absolutely pouring it down here. It's pretty miserable here, I've got to say. Just another excuse to stay in the craft room, isn't it? And we don't need those excuses, but they always help, don't they? They do. What's it like where you are? Right, am I saying it right? Is it Meave? If I'm saying it right, put a thumbs up. If I'm saying it wrong, don't do the angry face. Don't like it. Oh, lovely here in Dublin. So is it Maeve? We could spend the next 10 minutes debating this, couldn't we? But I will get it right eventually. Lovely here in Dublin. Now, it's just, apparently we've got rain for miserable weather for 3 weeks, apparently. But we all know that the weathermen always get it wrong. So it's probably going to be absolutely boiling later. Yes, I got it right. Perfect. There's nothing worse than someone pronouncing your name wrong. Just a little annoyance of mine, but it's yes, it's a little annoying, isn't it? I mean, my name's Michelle. It's not hard to get that wrong at all, is it? Even though most of my uncles, they either call me Mish, Shell, or Shelley. So none of those sound like Michelle, but I answer to all sorts. Answer to all. We have to, don't we? With uncles and aunts and things like that, they're just they nicknames. I think it's very rare that my kids get called their real name as well. They've got their little nicknames. Oliver, we call him Bear. I don't know why he looks like a little bear when he was born, a cute, tiny little squishy thing. So, and my daughter gets called Moo of all things, because when she was little we called her Mini Moo, and now it's just Moo. So yes, my daughter's nickname is a cow, but don't tell no one. Right, so shall we get started? We've been here a few minutes now, so we'll get started. So what we're going to look at today is this Home Sweet Home kit. It's from Ciao Bella, and this is the first time that they've done a kit like this. So we're all very, very excited to have a play with this. Now, what I love about this is, I mean, straight away you can see what it comes with. You've got your kit contents, you've got vellums, you've got double-sided papers, and then you've got the cardboard or the chipboard, the mount board, whatever it is you want to call it. So when we open it up, what you've got straight away is you've got your instruction sheet here, shows you all your contents, and then on the back it gives you some instructions, so you're not just left alone. And then straight away, so we've got that lovely sheet of vellum. You've got all these windows and doors, you've got the smaller windows, you've got those little what they're called, the shutters on that window, and again lots of lovely fussy cutting elements on there. And then let me turn this round. These are all your sheets, and these will make sense if I pop them to the side and then turn this round. So these are your all your papers, and these are your cardboard or your chipboard. And I think you can see that, can't you? You can see that sort of that's the front of your house, or whatever it is that you're going to be creating. And then you've got some extra pieces here. So what you're going to do is it's going to go on here so you can see. I mean, it's pretty easy to see just from what it is, how it's going to layer up. Lots of those window shutters again. I love that you've got them in a pink and a blue. So there's so many elements in here. That is going to allow you to do you know what? I lost my train of thought then. It just absolutely went. Bear with me. Got it. I think my battery's not plugged in on my laptop, which is why I just got a little message. Kirsty, hi, how are you? Hope you're well. I'm just finding the charger for the laptop before it dies, which the husband's got in the living room. So if Ben's watching, I need your charger. I think I can hear him coming. It is here, look, here to save the day. Thank you. I just got a little pop-up and it said energy saver is on, and I had no idea why my energy saver was on, but we sorted. We're done, thank you. Ben to the rescue. That's absolutely brilliant. Right, so just bear with me. Let me make sure that that's battery status. Yes, plugged in. We're fine. Panic over. Right, what was I saying? Saying hi to Kirsty, wasn't I? I could hear him come. Well done. Yeah, I heard him come running up the hallway. God bless him. Right, so shall I go back to the beginning? Because we've just had a couple more join as well. So very quickly, what we're doing tonight is this kit. So it's the first time Bella's ever done this kind of kit, which is exciting for me because you know I love anything 3D. So you get this lovely cardboard slip with everything in it. As usual, there's all your ingredients on the back. You've got a lovely instruction sheet, tells you everything that you've got. The beautiful image there straight away for ideas for you, and then the instructions on the back. And then I was just showing you this. Here Ben comes to save the day. Yes, absolutely. So there's this lovely vellum sheet with all your French doors and your windows and those. They've got a name, those kind of windows, haven't they? Those little round ones. Are they like port window? Because it's almost like it's on a ship, isn't it? But anyway, you've got all those here. And then you've got your chipboard here. Hi, Hannah. How are you? What's the weather like where you are? It's miserable here. So this is your first chipboard sheet. You can see that you've got a lovely fence across there, and this is going to be the sort of front of your house, and you can see that it's going to sit on here, and that's going to be the front and one of the sides. And if I turn it over, it's patterned on the other side as well. And then you've got this, so you've got options. You've got the sort of brickwork, or you've got this lovely sort of woodwork. These 4 pieces here are for your chimney. And again, I'll show you all this when we get to it. Beautiful pattern paper on the back. And again, lots more fussy cutting elements, that wood effect. Beautiful paper on the back. And this has got to be my favourite piece of all, that lovely old-fashioned truck with the flowers on the back. And again, all the windows, lots of, so this says, in fact, it says it here, look, interior roof. So it's for the inside of your roof. And again, a beautiful pattern on the back. Turn this round. This is obviously the outside of your roof. Again, windows and doors, things like that. Beautiful pattern on the back. And again, the stonework. So you've got two options. You can create a stonework house, or you can create the wood effect house. And again, it gives you the different options for the chimney as well. And beautifully patterned on the back. And then these are all your pop out elements. So all these smaller pieces here are for all of these little tags that you can be cutting out, things like that. So even lots of these have got the chipboard elements to go with them. And then if I bring this in, you can see that those are your chipboard pieces for your chimney. You've got your floor or your base. You've got your two sides. And if you don't pop this middle bit out, you've got a solid wall on the side. If you do, you've got the ability to add one of those windows onto there. Super rainy. Glad I've done my glad I've done my leaving the house for the day. Yes, absolutely. I was just saying exactly the same. It's just a good excuse to stay in the craft room, isn't it? Is this a house kit? I looked for it online and I couldn't find videos. Right, so there is a video on Ciao Bella's YouTube of you creating the kit exactly how it comes in the pack with all of these. So there is definitely one. Kim, hi Kim. There is definitely a video on there. I will find it afterwards and I will pop the link to it on my Facebook page. I could probably pop it. I'll pop it wherever I can pop it, but there is definitely one. But then we're going to be using different papers because I thought there's already the video with the beautiful papers in the kit. So I thought we'd create something a little bit different. So if I pop all these to the side, and I'm going to bring in all of my elements. Now, lots of these I've already cut some bits up, again, just for time. I even found these because I thought I'm using the Wizard Academy collection. So I've got these little jars in my stash. I filled them with some little beads. I've got a little bit of a bigger one. Even created myself a little book. So I've been having lots of fun with this. So these are the chimney pieces, and again, I've already just covered those with the papers just for time, but we will put them together. No, I had found videos, couldn't find the kit. There's definitely one there. I can remember having a look at it. I will find the link afterwards, and I'll send you it, Hannah. I'll also pop it on my Facebook page, and then if anyone else wants to have a look, they can. Right, so that's my base piece. That is my roof. Let's bring the papers in first, actually. Let me pop that there, because I'll show you the papers that I'm going to be using. So I'm trying to stay tidy. It's not going to work for long, but we can give it a go, can't we? So I'm using this Wizard Academy. It is absolutely gorgeous. Now, what we've got left in these is, I suppose it depends on what website you go to, but we've got this lovely fussy cutting pad, the 6x6 paper pad. You've got all these wonderful fussy cutting elements. And remember, the backs are always beautifully patterned. So if you're not a fan of fussy cutting, you've just got a lovely 6x6 paper pad here. But there's so many different elements in here. It is just an absolutely gorgeous pad full of imagery. Look at those. Sarah, good evening all. Finally made a Michelle live. Oh, that's fabulous. Well, welcome. It's fabulous to have you here. How lovely is that? So that's the 6x6, and I have fussy cut a few of those elements out. Let's see if I can get this back in here. Never goes back in as easy as it came out, did it? Odds 29. Hi. Hi, glad you could make it. Pop that to the side. And then again, you get these A4 pads. Now, this is your creative pad. and I love these because you can see I've already cut something out from the front. I love these because there is so much in here. There's the beautiful patterned paper, and then in this creative pad, you've got lots of bigger elements. So using your circle dies on those if you want to, but lots of tags, lots of beautiful imagery. You've got this particular one here that you could cut out that's just says memories. So lots of absolutely gorgeous pieces. And again, my camera doesn't like that white, does it? If I bring it closer, see if you can get a clearer. There we go. Taking the shine of the light off of it, isn't it? Sort of a green and a sepia colour. And again, lots of beautiful tags on here and cuttable elements. I love this one. So if you're making like if you were using this kit to create almost like a potion room, you have got all these that you can be putting in there up on the walls, on little bottles, things like that if you want into. It's just a gorgeous collection. Again, you can see that I've used some. And then this one, I mean, there's so it's an A4, so you've got 4 decent size toppers there. So let's not do that. Let's just put them to the side. And then this is so in here I've got my 12 by 12 paper pad, and I've also got my patterns pad. Mine's all mixed up together because I've been using it today. But we will go through what's left here. And this straight away, I love this hallway. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And then obviously you've got so much in these on the back. So you can see that I've cut part of my house out of this. I love this piece. The chessboard. It's all very Harry Potter without being Harry Potter. Again, you can see where I've been chopping into it, can't you? But again, just here, you've got a full piece that's beautiful imagery, and then you've got those 3 toppers again down the side. I love this particular piece. It's a beautiful background for your cards or your scrapbooking. And then you always get this lovely fussy cutting sheet in there with the sorting hat. And I know which way it's supposed to go up now. If you all remember that time that I made my absolute fool out of myself, not knowing what the sorting hat was and which way up and down it went. But I love this particular piece as well. Just all of those old books. They're just absolutely gorgeous. Turning it over, you've got that lovely script on there. And again, I've cut a piece of this off that I'm going to be using. But on the fronts and backs, absolutely gorgeous. Again, you can see I've already been cutting my pieces out. I love this piece. It's a huge sort of cogs sort of picture on there, which is lovely. And again, I've already used some of this one. This particular piece, this is the map. So you've got this huge piece that is that beautiful map. And again, I've cut some out because I'm going to use that. But how lovely is that? And then bringing this in, you've got, again, all the imagery that you come to expect from Wizard Academy. Lovely sort of planer on the back. And then again, lots of big toppers there. You can be creating just on that sheet there. What have you got? 4, 8, 9, 9 toppers. But then on the back, look. Again, we've all probably got the wax seal kits from Crafter's Companion. Obviously, it's faux on there, but you can really be using your wax seal kit on there. Lovely herbalist type paper there, and again, you've just got the artwork is just stunning. It really is. And your poisons and all your plants, things like that. Just a full page of scripture, and again, lots of, it's almost like a masterboard, but I promise I'll only say that once today. But it's lovely the way it's just sort of all built up, isn't it? And then this is my patterns pad. This is the front of that because, again, in your patterns pad, you always get the alphabet down there that works perfectly with this collection. So that is that. So that is all I've got left. So I'm going to pop that to the side, and then we'll bring in what I've already started on. So I'll just move those to the side, and that and that. So this is this is this particular one's the back of my house, or my little library, what I'm going to be creating. Gaz, hi Gaz, how are you? You all right? We've been discussing the lovely weather, or not so lovely weather. So let me bring in the other one so you can see them both. Where are they? Here we go. So this is the front. Look up all my little notes on there. So this is the front. The doorway doesn't stay attached. It is on my main pieces. If you wanted to cut that off and stick it back on, you absolutely can do. I popped one of the windows out because I was going to create something specific with it, but actually I'm not going to totally change my mind. But again, you can have that in or not in. I'm good. The weather is a thing. I'm full of hay fevers. Oh, God, that's awful. Right, so you've got the front, you've got the back. These are my two side pieces. And I was saying you can pop this middle bit out. It's just held on with two little picks, and have a window there, or I'm just going to cover mine up because of the sort of style that I'm creating. But the fact that you've got those two options there to have it in or out is absolutely brilliant. So my two side pieces. So what you're going to do is you're going to pop this on here. You're going to pop your side piece on here. Obviously, I'm going to do it on the other side. I'm just showing you. And then you can see where you need to cut it out, and we're going to mat and layer it up. So either with your scissors or your craft knife. Let me just make sure that I don't get these mixed up. We're going to cut this out. So where are my scissors, ruler? First thing that comes to hand. So first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to trim right round that shape. And it's roughly, I think it's a 190 is this paper. So it cuts beautifully, but it's a lovely weight. It's not too flimsy. There we go. Let's just trim that across there. And then I can turn it over now. And we're going to have that glued down onto there, and that glued down onto there. And very much like when I do any of my mount board bags, boxes, or my albums, we're going to use a tacky glue to stick this down. And I do have, oh look, let me show you this. So this is my base piece, and I was saying that lovely map, so I'm going to use that as my floor in my little library. So making sure that I'm not using the wrong one. Let's glue this down. So tacky glue all over. Absolutely use red liner if you want to. And then we'll pop it down. We need to make sure we're leaving enough room all the way around. Bring that down just a little and then press it down. And then the same with this one. So you can see that I'm leaving it in. You've got two decent sized picks, so it's not going to accidentally pop out. So again, that glue needs to make sure it goes all the way to the edges. Everywhere. And then pop it on there. You know that we normally leave roughly about a 1/4 of an inch there. for it to fold round. So if you're not too sure, pop this, if you've got these yet, I know you've seen me using them a lot. There we go. Pop that in and just push it right up. And then you know that you've got it even all the way up. There we go. So we'll turn that back over. You can see it's looking lovely, sort of the back and then one of the sides. And I have got some pieces already cut for the inside. We're not going to pop those on yet, but this is one of those particular pieces that I've got. I cut that piece out and I thought it was absolutely lovely. It's going to go on the inside just here, and then I'm going to do mine so it opens. So you're peeking inside and you've got that lovely fire and the lovely cozy chair. And then this one's going to go here on the inside. So when you're looking in, you've got that beautiful stairway going up the back of your little house or your library, whatever it is that you're creating. So obviously we don't put those on yet, but you can see that that's going to fold round lovely now. And then so to make sure that we've got this wrapped all the way around, I'm just looking for my scissors. I've got 5 pair on my desk and cannot find one. So we're going to do sort of what we sort of always do. And it's not more difficult when you've got little points and things like that. You just need to be, again, just take your time with it. And I always tend to use my glass mat to fold those pieces over. Right, this piece I'm not going to be able to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim down just a little and take a little notch. So where that piece of cardboard's ended, I've trimmed down a little, but I'm also going to trim down a little bit there where that cardboard has ended. So then what that's going to allow me to do is fold that piece right there. And then that one's going to go over. So it doesn't matter that I did it there and then there. If you're not quite sure, it really doesn't matter because it's going to fold over anyway. So I'm just going to bring in my little tool just so I can get that right in that corner to bring it up against there. So folding that right over, you can see that you can either tuck that in and fold it over or put a little notch at the top. So I'm going to pop a little notch and just trim a little cheese wedge away. And then bring it over. Again, cut a little bit away at a time. Trim it over. I know that I've got more now that I need to trim away, so I'm going to. So let's go straight across there. And I mean, I'm just checking on this before I commit to gluing, making sure that I'm going to get a lovely fold. This is just peeking out just a little bit more than I want. So we'll trim it down again, fold it over, and I've got a lovely point now, so I'm happy with that one. And then again here, so that folds over, and when we bring the side in, you've got a lot of bulk there. So what we're going to do is we're going to trim a little bit of that away. So I'm going to cut straight towards that corner, and then that's going to fold over lovely. And then now when you bring that in, it's going to fold lovely and flat. And then you know what we do with the corners down here on the bottom, normal corners, we're just going to trim those off. Just like that. So then we can bring all these in now and glue them down. So I'm going to start here and glue those 2 pieces down. Always making sure that I've got glue right up against the mount board. I'm going to bring that over. It really, so like Harry Potter. Yeah, it really is. Absolutely. There's just so much. There's even, is it Snape with the dark hair? There's even sort of imagery on there of him as well. Which for me, he always made watching Harry Potter worth it. Can I just say? So, just checking my point. Happy with that. And then for the rest, we just need to go round and glue it down as if we was just binding a book or an album. Gaz, you need better meds. What have I missed? Oh, your hay fever. Yes. I used to suffer with hay fever when I was younger, to the point that my eyes and my face would swell up. It wasn't pretty. Can I just say? It wasn't pretty at all. But touch wood, I haven't had hay fever for quite a few years now. So that makes me very happy. I am not a fan of the itchy eye and all that kind of thing. Laura, I miss you, Michelle, and all your creativity. I'm not familiar with any of these collections, so it's really nice to see something new for a change. Um, yes, it is. I mean, thank you. That was really lovely of you to say. And it is nice to see something different, isn't it? And I think Ciao Bella definitely do that, bring you something different each and every time. Let's pop that over as well. Helps if it's got a bit of glue on, doesn't it? There we go. Yeah, so I mean, I think I was saying last week I was with Ciao Bella before I was with Crafters Companion. I was on their design team. But when I got the job with Crafters Companion, I unfortunately had to leave. But obviously being let go, not being with Crafters anymore. Do you know when I left and everyone was saying there's something with one door closes and everything? This is the most fabulous door that opened up for me. Can I just say, Barbara? Hello, I'm late. I was weighing the foster kittens. Oh well, we will let you off for that, definitely. Absolutely. So I'm happy with that. So that is going to be the back and the side. Tuck that back down. And I'm going to pop that just up there. Because I've got these for the inside, but I don't want to pop these on just yet because I'm debating on my closure for my album. I'm debating whether to pop a magnet on the front. So at the side and on the front, so my front can open. I'm still in discussions with myself as to whether that's what I'm going to do or not. But those are going to cover the back and the side up in the house. So I'm going to pop that to the side for now. Throw the rest on the floor. There we go. And then this piece. So this is one of the pieces that I fussy cut out. It's just the most beautiful wall with the beautiful ivy. I'm going to pop that on the outside. You know me, probably by the time that we get there, I'll have changed my mind. But that will go sort of around the back and then down this side. And you've got that lovely pile of books there. It's absolutely gorgeous, which I've just fussy cut out. So we'll put that to the side as well. Because we need to do the front and then the other side. So again, in very much the same way. So I'm going to bring this in. So this is one of those pieces from the paper pad. It's absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love it. And I just thought that would make a nice sort of front and side, making it look like, an array of shops. So I'm going to turn this over because I need that on the outside. And I know that that roughly needs to go there. So let me bring in, where's my little ruler? I'm going to bring this in. I'm just going to line this up with the bottom so I can get it all nice and straight. So you can see that I popped the window out on this one, which is absolutely fine because when I glue it down, I'm going to pop it back in if I remember. By the time that I get there, I will probably have forgotten. So I'm just popping glue everywhere. And then we'll line that up. And again with this, I don't want that doorway open. If you do want that doorway open and you wonder how you're supposed to cut around that particular bit in there to get it to fold, what you will literally do is right from the corner, you will get your craft knife and you will just cut onto a diagonal. And from there you will as well cut a diagonal and then leave roughly or cut roughly a 1/2 inch so your tabs will fold over beautifully. So you would just cut that middle bit out, cut a diagonal line there and there, and it's all going to fold. That will fold up and those will fold to the side beautifully. Let's pop this in. I nearly forgot. Let's pop that right in there. And then the same for this. Pop that on. I have gone a little bit, I've put too much of a border there and I haven't got much there, but that's okay. I can just get away with it. And again, I'm going to leave that window in. I wonder if I can move that quickly. I'll lift this one up to move it. No, it's well and truly stuck. That's all right. We can work around it. So again, I'm going to just use my ruler to, when I get it round the right way, bring it round and cut. I haven't quite joined those. There we go. So again, to turn that round, the front looks like that lovely huge shop there. And then you've got the same on the side as well. So I was saying, wasn't I? The house there, I can pop it back in, just getting the particular piece just to show you. It's here. So when you pop the house out, that doesn't come with it. But if I just cut along there, then it means that I can pop it in. It's not really a problem. But I'm not gonna because I've got some backing paper to go on. So I've got this, when I was saying about those beautiful books, that's going to go on the inside here. And I'm going to pop that on there. Now I love this piece because I want the front of my house to open. I thought this would be really good. All those cogs almost gives you the idea that all the cogs and everything, the clockwork is come into effect and it's allowing you to, open the house up very much like it would in something like Harry Potter or something. So therefore the inside. But again, I'm not going to pop those on just yet because we're going to do exactly the same as what we've just done. Fold all those pieces up. It's going to be very tight on that side, but I'm sure just I can do it. Just enough there. So again, let's trim down to that point. I can trim that across just a little as well. Don't worry about if you have to put lots of snips in these to get them to fold. Because once they're folded over, if you've got lots of little snips, you're not going to see them, because once you've popped your paper over, it's going to cover it up. So if you're not quite sure, then I wouldn't worry about it at all. So we're going to go right across there. Make that a little bit straighter. Bringing it right over. And the same there. Bring it over, make sure that you're happy with your little points. If you want to tuck it in a little bit more, you can do. By what I mean by that is can't get over my words today, tripping over them. We're just going to trim this, so that's roughly about 1/4 of an inch. So we're just going to trim that just down tiny little bit more, so it's a lot closer to that point. And then when you bring those pieces over, it's a lot neater, it's a lot closer. So that is definitely one. Just trim a little bit away at a time, and if you're happy with it, then you can commit and go on with the rest. And then again here, when we get to the side of this house, we're going to cut straight to it, and then we can bring that over, and that one's going to bring up, and it's going to hide all that. So again, those corners where I've just had it think. No, I haven't. It's there. A little corner piece is going to work beautifully on those because it's a lovely right angle. So just trim, squeaked a little bit on my glass mat there. There we go. And then, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to glue all these up again. So that is the tiniest little bit there. So I'm definitely going to do it like this. So I'm just using my glass mat to put that pressure on it so it stays stuck down. Kirsty suffers badly with hay fever and eczema. It's a nightmare. My husband's got eczema on his elbows of all places. So yeah, I get that definitely. Waiting foster kittens again. I love that. So now I've pressed that there, I can just tuck that really short edge over. And because I'm using that tacky glue, I know that it's going to stick really well. Pop that down. I'm just looking. Who's Gaz saying hey babes to? And surely that's me. So just lifting that over. And again, I'm not worried about that bit because I've got a little bit of a porch that I've created that we're going to pop on the front. I just thought it'd be a little bit of fun. Me. And your phone going off. I forgot to turn the volume down. Thanks. Give that a good burnish because I saw that popping up. And then get my glue on here. Pull that over. I said hi to Barbara, aka Babs. I thought there was an E, so I thought you was calling someone babes. I mean, not that I mind. Babs. When I read that there, it reminded me of Bugs Bunny. His girlfriend, wasn't she Babs? The random things that just pop into your head with the weird, just a normal word, and then you have the randomest things pop into your head. Or is that just me? That can't just be me. And then last one, making sure that I took that corner Oh. So there is another collection, and I think it's called The Beach is Calling. And I thought that would work beautifully with this kit as well, because you could make a lovely little beach hut. So I quite liked that one. Obviously, the flower shop collection that comes with it works beautifully. But if you've got more than one of these, or you've got this collection and you're thinking that's going to work lovely with it, then they absolutely are going to. So that's my front and back all done. That I think I'm definitely going to be popping that across there. I think it just makes it pop a little bit, doesn't it? So let's pop that to the side. While those are drying fully, we'll go on to the base. And again, we're just going to do exactly as we've done before. Anytime you've seen me do the albums and things, it's very much like that. So I'll try to go a bit quicker. If this were pre-recorded, you could just fast forward this bit, couldn't you? So I'm quite aware that every time I rub that, it makes my camera wobble. So I'm going to try and do it very carefully. I'm just looking for that cup. There it is. It doesn't take long for me to lose everything. So do you have any collections at home that you think would work beautifully with this? So I was just saying the Beach is Calling collection would work beautifully. There's also they did one. Their last release was the one that was very much not Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast, was it? Cinderella. There's a collection that they did just before this release that was very Cinderella-y, and I think that'd work beautiful with this collection as well. I think, to be honest, I think you could sort of get any collection and think, oh, that's going to work beautifully with it. Because there's always some sort of imagery on there that you think would make a lovely little a little house. I mean, the first when I saw this, I thought the Harry Potter one straight away. A lovely little reading room, a little library. Because I love to read. I also love to collect books. I love to collect craft items, and I love to collect books. I do occasionally read them as well, but it's very much like crafting, isn't it? You collect them, and then you do eventually read them. I love this so much. You have amazing skills. Oh, and tasting papers. I definitely have to get these. And I can, as it's payday. Absolutely, Gaz. This is the most gorgeous collection. It really is. Look at that lovely little map on there. I just thought I'd picked that out for the floor. And then when I carried on going through and I saw that this map, I thought this just has to be the floor, doesn't it? That's my base. I'm going to cover that up. Let me trim that down just a little bit. It's a little bit too big. So I think just 1/8 of an inch off each side. I don't want it too short. There we go. Perfect. I forgot it's payday weekend, isn't it, for everyone? Everyone's favourite time of the month. Even my kids. They definitely know when it's payday because they come and they're so lovely to you, aren't they? I'm allowed one thing per month. So by one thing, does it mean like one collection, like a huge collection? Is that one thing or just like one paper pad or one die set? If I could get done all the good intention I have. Yeah, definitely. Right, so my base, I'm going to pop that there because I do have my roof as well. So I've already done the outside of the roof and we're just going to do the inside as well. And again, spoilt for choice with papers. So I picked this particular one, decisions. I thought it looked lovely just on the inside. Hot and glue, all making sure it goes lovely, perfectly up to the edge. And then because I'm putting it on here, I'm going to make sure that I've got glue down both of those edges, because that's where you want it to make sure it's stuck. You don't want it popping up at all there. And then I've just spread it with my finger. I really should use some sort of glue spreader or something like that, but I don't think it matters, does it? You can always tell when a crafter's spread some glue with her finger because she holds it up when she's doing something else. Or he. And just find, I do have, oh, it's here. I do have a wet wipe somewhere. So I'm going to bring this in and we're going to make sure that we burnish all those edges and especially down that centre that's going to fold. So that's my roof, that's my base. So we will pop them there for now. This is the chimney. So I showed you those 4 separate pieces. And again, I've just wrapped it round because I thought the brick would work with the brick rather than the sort of the wood. And then what I'm going to do with this is we're just going to glue it together. So I've got all those edges. So literally just with my glue, I'm going to dip that edge in there and I'm going to pop it right up against that edge. And I'm going to give it a second to grab. Now with this kit, with this collection, the 4 pieces of the chimney come separate. So you wrap the 4 pieces separately and then glue it together like you can see I am here. But you don't have to do it like that. You know, if you've got some other paper that you would rather wrap it all the way around all 4 pieces, but because of the way it's going to go on the chimney and you've got that piece there, it is so much easier to do it this way. So what I'm going to do, glue gun on it is. I'm going to very carefully, because that's gone off enough, and without moving it, I just move that out of the way. I'm just going to pop hot glue down there. And then when that dries as well, that's not going anywhere. It's nice and secure, but you just have to wait for it to grab. So let me stand that there. I'll do the same with this one. And then we'll pop all 4 together. So let me just make sure that I'm going to stick this to the right side. Dipping, aren't I? So yeah, so again, just pop that on there and just give it a little while to grab. I have to restrict myself to £45 of my own pennies. It's just awful, isn't it? Having bills to pay and food to buy. It just spoils all the crafting fun, doesn't it? It just does. So again, now that has grabbed enough, I'm going to bring in my hot glue gun. I'm going to be very careful of my fingers. I'm right in that corner. I'm going to put my hot glue. And if it's just moved a little bit when you're doing that, you do have enough time to sort of hold it so it dries at that perfect right angle. Just missed a little bit there. There we go. And then what we can do now is we can pop all 4 sides together. I just moved a little. And then we can glue them together now. So I've still done it wrong, haven't I? How did I do that? I even Med Shaw. Right, this side. Let's try again. See, I even checked twice and still did it wrong. Right, this side. But again, it doesn't matter because it peeled off well enough and you're not going to see the insides of this. So there's nothing that we really need to worry about. I just need to press it on there for a second. I'm allowed one thing per month if I have to. Yeah. Oh, Caroline, hi. Bit late getting it. That's all right. I am always late to everything. A little bit morbid, but my mum always used to say to me, I'm going to have on your gravestone, here Woodline Michelle, but she's late. I never really knew what to say to that back then, but I think if I was ever on time for something, people would really worry. They'd wonder what was going on. Right, so now I've got it the right way. So I'm going to pop hot glue, down that edge of that. And I'm going to, all fingers and thumbs, pop that together. Now, if you're very careful, you won't have no hot glue poking out, but if you do, there's lots of fussy cutting elements that have got like vines, so you know on this particular wall that I'm going to use that has got like lovely little it's ivy, isn't it? You can have ivy coming over if you've got some glue that you haven't quite hid, things like that. We've all got those dies in our stash, that's all the foliage, that's going to work perfectly as well. So let's stick that together, and then in the bottom bit I can use the hot glue and then turn it round, hot glue at the top, and then just hold it all together. And then I've got my lovely chimney that's going to sit on the roof with that shape cut out in the middle. So making sure it's nice and straight. There we go. So we've got my chimney. So we're going to pop that to the side as well. And then we pop that away. What else have we got? So we've done the base, we've done the roof, we've done the outsides, haven't we? So I think really what we wanted to do now is pop it together. But before I do, we're going to create a little porch for the front. So I'm going to bring in this. I just thought again, it's just adding a little bit of fun. So I've got a bit of craft card. It doesn't matter what colour because it's going to be covered up with some lovely papers. So it's 7 inches by 5. So on the 5-inch side, we're just going to score it all the way across at 3 inches. And then turn it over, and then on your long side, so your 7-inch, we're going to score it at 2 inches, then 3 inches, 5, and then 6. And then pop that to the side. And let's just score all those lines. So I'm sat right next to my window, so I don't know if you can hear it, but the rain is really coming down, but it's warm. So it's like I need my window shut because it's raining, but I need it open because it's warm. We can't win, can we, sometimes? Handcrafted by Gaz. Michelle will be here shortly. But yeah, my gravestone, yeah, absolutely. Right, so what we're going to do, this is going to be my porch. So it's going to go on there, on the front. It's just going to glue. This is going to be my tab on the back, so you can see that we've got that lovely tube look at the minute. So on the front, where this score line is, right in the middle at the top, we're going to pop a little pencil mark. It doesn't matter which 2-inch piece that you use. So using my scoreboard, I'm going to pop a mark at 1 inch in between, right in the middle of that 2-inch one. And while we're here, we'll do it with that back piece as well. And then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to trim from that corner or that point to that corner. And then to that corner. We're going to do the same here. And then the same here. So then what we've got is, again, if I fold it back over, you can see that my porch shape that I'm looking for is sort of coming together. Now, obviously, we need to trim lots of these bits up, but I thought if I show you it sort of step by step, then if you want to go on and create a bigger one, if you're making something else, then you absolutely can do. So this particular piece here, this is going to come over and it's going to glue underneath there, and you can see that that's going to be the side. So straight away that you can see that I need to trim some of that away. So this tab here and this tab here, not going over the next score line, so just those tabs we're going to trim straight down. So you're roughly leaving 1/4 of an inch. So trim that straight down there and this one. So you can see, pop it down, I've roughly left 1/4 of an inch. And we need to trim it down as well. We need to take that wedge away so it sits nice and neat. So trim those away. And then again, bringing it back round, you can see now, when I tuck that round and I tuck that underneath, they're going to tuck and tab away perfectly. So turn it back upside down, or whichever way, because the only piece that we haven't done yet is this particular piece. So we need to cut a little wedge there, because that is going to be my tab at the bottom. And then just, again, roughly leaving 1/4 of an inch. Just keep folding it round, making sure that you're happy with where you're going and that you've not trimmed too much off. So again, we're going to open it back up. I'm going to trim this tab down just to 1/4 of an inch. This one is 1/4 of an inch, but we need to take that little corner away. And I'm going to do the same with that. And what you're going to end up with is this. So I've got my front. These two side pieces have both got a tab. So you've got a tab there and there, just on the side pieces, okay? Did that all make sense? I tried to do it step by step so you could see how I was coming to what I was sort of aiming to get. And then all you need to do now is tuck your 2 tabs in there, tuck those 2 in there, and I've got a lovely little porch. So we're just going to glue that together now. So popping glue on this piece first. And remember, it's craft card, so it just doesn't glue quite as easily, does it? Takes a little bit longer to sort of grab. So if you're allowed one thing per month, Gaz, what are you getting this month? Or is it one of them decisions that is so important that it's taken a little while to decide? So there you go. With the tab glued at the back, you've now got this 3D shape. And this particular tab on this side, we're going to glue the front and back and pop that on. So adding glue there and there. And we're going to tuck it in, and we're just going to line it up with that front piece. So lining that up. Now it's a little bit shorter because obviously we've put it on an angle. It's 2 inches high, as that's 2 inches high. Because it's on an angle, it's going to be a little bit shorter. Doesn't matter, because what we've got going over the top is like obviously the roofy bit to the porch. And I'm going to use some pattern paper for that. So gluing that one side first, and then we'll do the other side. And then we can just tuck this in as well. There we go. And then just holding that while it all grabs. And then I've got my lovely porch. Just going to glue the back to the front of the house. I've got bits to go over the front, and then it's going to hide that little gap at the top. There we go. There we go. So that's going to be my porch. And then I'd already made one. Oh, let me get that off, just in case. I always have a backup. But it works absolutely perfectly. So can you remember that piece of paper that I showed you that was the chessboard? On that chessboard was this particular gentleman. This is again from the Harry Potter film, where he goes and he has to play chess. You've got that lovely guard there, haven't you? And I thought that's just going to fit beautifully on the front, almost like he's guarding the library before you can go in. So I've cut lots of strips of card. So this particular piece is an inch deep. So I've cut these 1.5 inches. And no particular length. So this is 1.5 inches by 5.25. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop that over onto there. But it's going to have that lovely overhanging porch at the front. So then he sort of stood back there in the shadows, guarding my little library. So this particular one is 5.25. And then I cut another one at 4.5. I cut another piece at 3.75. And then I've got another piece that is 3 inches. So what I want to do is I want to layer those over each other. And then you've got that lovely, almost like a tiled roof effect, isn't it? So that's all going to go on here. I'm going to pop a little bit of ink on it first, because I want to, because he's going to be sort of stood back. I want to ink around the edges so it makes it dark, like he's stood in the shadow. So I'm just going to bring in some of my inks. They've got the most gorgeous set of inks. I'll just bring all the ones out I've got, shall I? You've got sort of 2 lots with Ciao Bella. You've got the dusty sort of collection, and then you've got the aging collection. So your aging collection is absolutely perfect for something like this. It ages everything up. So you've got the Oceana, you've got the Olive Orchid, Winter Cocoa, Barn Door. Then you've got Black Starless Sky. You've got, that's a dusty one, dusty aging. You've got Olive Orchard. And afternoon tea. So, you wanting to age any sort of project up, they're going to work beautifully. But then these work beautifully for things like your flower shop collection. Oh, that's another aging one. Muted copper. They've got more in the collection, but this is all I've got at the minute. So you've got like a gold, saffron, Madeira, Mexican Mexicali rose, ooh, plum and sort of mulberry. So again, depending on what kind of finish you're going for with your collections or your projects. So I think to age this, we're going to go Bandar muted copper. If you're not quite sure, just bring in a piece of spare card and just ink onto it. Let's use this spare door. So let's just add a little bit of ink to that and see. Can you see how it goes on? So it's an opaque pigment as well. So if you are wanting to heat set this with your embossing powders, you absolutely can do. Let's go for this Bandar. Look at that. So that's the Bandar. You've got that lovely red sort of coming through, and then the other one, you've just got that lovely sort of muted copper effect. So I'm going to bring in my little chess man and just going to go around the edges. And I know I'm using the same ink pad, but blending those sort of two colours together doesn't really matter anyway, because they work so beautifully together. And then I can go right on the edges with the darker one. And then we'll blend it out. So it just gives it some depth when you're looking at it. Okay, so pop that there. And I'm going to do the same with these roof pieces. We're just going to add some ink onto the edges, so when they're layered over each other, they're going to stand out. They're not going to look all blended in. We'll add them both together. I mean, they work beautifully together, so it doesn't really matter. Well, I'm trying to ink and read and talk. Gaz doesn't know what he's going to be getting yet. Tempted by this lot. I don't blame you. What about the coral reef collection, Gaz? That is gorgeous. I think I showed it last week, didn't I? These two pieces are my side pieces. So again, I'm going to have them coming forward. So, you know, again, it gives the illusion that he stood back in the doorway. And then last piece. There we go. So let me get those right. Is that Bandar? It is. No, it's not. It's mixed copper, isn't it? It's Bandar. I don't want to get those mixed up. Right, let me just wipe this up. I do have, they're here. Look at all them colours. And that's just some of them. They've got so many more colours, guys. Lots of colours. Barbara, wow. Lovely, lovely inks, aren't they? Look at all them colours, yeah. Who stocks Ciao Bella in the UK? So, Personal Impressions is the UK distributor, so they have everything. So if you go to Personal Impressions, you will find all of these collections on there. There is lots of other shops that stock them as well. We do the UK first release is normally on Create and Craft. So you should be able to get all the new releases, and they've got some older bits on Create and Craft. Hobby Maker also have some of their older collections, and I'm not sure when they're getting these, the newer ones. They might have this on there. I'm not sure. But the easiest, see, there's a shop called, I think it's Mad Scrappers. They do lots of Ciao Bella stuff as well. I've always found it easiest to search Ciao Bella papers, and then if there's a particular collection like Wizard Academy, then search for it that way. Or if not, just Ciao Bella papers. But my first part of call would definitely be Personal Impressions, because They have so much more amazing stuff on there as well. They have got all of your, if you love working with MDF, they've got some of those beautiful books. They've got trays, they've got love hearts, they have got all sorts in MDF, and the quality is second to none with the personal impression stuff. And you can find all of your other stuff on there, you know, your Tim Holtz, all your other companies. I got some coral reef bits from Create and Craft. Yeah, it was launched last week on Create and Craft. So it was the UK launch. So pop in these side pieces, and remember that I only need to glue up just an inch because we're having that porch overhanging at the front. I think it's I must admit though, personal impressions is a little bit dangerous because they have got so many amazing things on there. It's one of those sites that you go and look for something in particular, and then when you realise they've got so much more stuff on there, that is where, guys, your £45 will be gone. So you saw me with these are folded in half, and all I did was just with my bone folder, just give them a little bit of movement. So my first one is going to go on, so my longest one, and then we're going to go sharper. So it's up to you. You can glue it on there and then add the rest on. I find it easier to glue them together before I pop it on there. So I'm not going to glue it all the way to the end. It allows for that that lift that I'm wanting. So just popping it on there, fold it to make sure you've got it where you need it to be. How much do they charge for shipping to the US? I'm gathering that's Create and Craft. I know they do ship to the US, but again, I also know that there's lots of stores in the US that do Ciao Bella. So again, just have a Google Ciao Bella papers, and then you will find if you Google Ciao Bella, you're going to get lots of things other than what you're actually looking for. Lots of Google Translate telling you what Ciao Bella means in English and stuff. So I would definitely just Google Ciao Bella papers. If you know the collection you're looking for, pop that on as well. Go see. Can you see what I mean by that lovely porch roof effect? And again, with this top piece, we're only going to glue so far down because it allows it to pop out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find it easier to glue this here and this side as well. And then I can pop that on the top. And just hold it, making sure that it's flush with the back because that's going to go against the front of our house. Just now I'm going to bring in, I think I'm going to bring in a darker brown because I don't feel he's menacing enough. Let's have a look. What have I got? Don't have a darker brown, so I think I'm going to bring in my walnut stain. So my Distress Oxide, we're going to bring in that. Just throwing everything about while I look for a little brush, a little stenciling brush, so I can get right in the side. So just using this because I can get right into the corner with it. Oh, that's a lot better. I'm a lot happier with that. So let me just close the drawer. Nothing fell over, nothing fell off my desk. All is good. So if I bring in what's going to be the front of my house. I'm going to pop him on the front. I know that's like a huge shot, but I'm still going to pop that on there because it just adds to sort of the look I'm going for. Now, colour-wise, this is lots more browns and this is a lot more blues. So we're going to use that same sort of colour palette. So we're going to bring in some of the browns and we're going to take that edge off and we're going to make it so it ties in a little bit more. So all around those edges, I've just brought my vintage photo in. That's always my go-to to start with. Add some vintage photo, and then if you feel it needs to go a little bit darker, you're safer to bring something else in. I think vintage photo tends to be the safe colour to go for. So I'm just going to gently go all the way over the front just to take that edge away of that sort of blue. And then I'm going to bring this back in. And can you see how much better that goes now just by adding that ink around the edge and then just the sort of the rest that's on, really. You just rub it over very gently and it just lifts it or darkens it that little bit. Love the way that you've done the roof. Thank you. Yeah, it's so simple to do, isn't it? But how effective does it just look? Rachel Wall, hello, question mark. If I missed you saying hello or I missed a question, then please ask again. I'm paying attention. If you've just turned up to the wrong place and you're like, hello, am I in the right place? Welcome anyway. So again, I'm going to bring this one in because it needs to all tie in. If I don't put any brown on this, it's going to look like two totally separate houses or libraries. It's just round the edges to start with. And then I can take it further in when I'm happy with those edges. But we did say, didn't we, that I was going to be popping that on. So straight away, that gives it the more brown look that we're going for, or aged look. So just over. Rachel, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here, even though ridiculously late. I'm totally starstruck. Where are you and what time is it where you are? And thank you for joining us, even though it's late wherever you are. So again, just over that wall, adding a little bit of ink. Let me take it away from the light. It dirties it up. I mean, we can be polite about it and say we're going for that aged effect, but it just dirties it up, doesn't it? Which is what we're looking for. I'm going to do the same with the wall. And then I will clean the ink away. There we go. So I'm quite happy with that for now. I'm actually not. Let me bring in this. I need to just feel like I need to add a bit of the vintage photo to that barn door because it's a lovely reddy colour. Well, barn door colour really, isn't it? But just a little too much. So let's just take the edge off. And the good thing about it is you're opaque and these distress oxides do sit over each other and blend. Absolutely lovely. There we go. So it's a little bit better. Let me move those. Right, we best clean that up because I'm going to get ink over things that I don't want to. I'm in the UK, it's only 7:20. Oh, I meant late for class. Ah, right, okay. I get you. Right, where's my... So whereabouts in the UK are you? Because I'm in Norfolk and it's absolutely miserable. Is it miserable weather-wise where you are? So that is going to be the back and the side. So I just want to pop that there for now because I need to just find the mat and layer pieces that are going to go with that. So back and side, I think, and front and side, I think we decided on, the back. So that was the back, wasn't it? So we look through and you've got that beautiful staircase. And that was the side, wasn't it? The little side room where you sat having, what would you be drinking in Harry Potter? It's those really weird named drinks, isn't it? In Hampshire, and it's been lovely today. Oh, it's not been here today. It's not cold by any stretch, but it's rained all day. So that's how it's going to come together. So that is my front and side, which actually I can glue those up because it's this side that I was thinking of putting a magnet closure on. So we'll leave those for now. And I just want to bring it over and make sure that this piece of paper isn't too big. That's nice, that's absolutely fine. So let's bring in my glue again. So this is the particular, this is the bit where, I mean, you can see that I've covered my window up. But if you left that out, and you've got some of those lovely vellum pieces that would, you could pop over that window. I'll just grab them for you in a sec. You could pop it over that window and you could have a little light in here. You know, if you wanted to create this for your kid's bedroom, could have one of those flameless candles, those little electric ones, and you've got a window in the front and you've got a window in the back. So it'd make a lovely little night light. And then popping. So on my front, I always keep checking that you're exactly where you want it to be because you don't want to get it all glued together and realise that your front's your back and your back's your front and never the twain shall meet. I don't even know if that's the right way to use that saying, but we'll pretend it is. So there we go. So let's pop that on there. It's going to have to go right up to that edge. There we go. So, and another thing that I love about collections is it doesn't matter what particular piece of paper or papers that you use, you know that they're all going to work together beautifully because they've done that hard work for you. So, front and side, we will leave that to dry. And then this is the back and side. So let's pop that back on first. Have they released The Land of the Rising Sun yet? Yes, that is. I think I showed it last week. It is the most gorgeous. I don't know, I went to get it. Yes. My camera's just not doing it justice. It's the light. Look, if I tip it, you can see the colours beautifully, but if I put it flat, you can't. Yes, last week. So you absolutely can get that. That's available now. It was launched on Create and Craft. So yes, absolutely. I would imagine that other places have got it in stock now as well. My nib's getting a little bit bunged up. Hayward, California, 72 and sunny. Not jealous. Not jealous at all. California's definitely on my bucket list. It's a place I would absolutely love to visit. But, I'd love to visit everywhere. I don't think there's a place in the world that I wouldn't love to visit. Definitely. Right, so just turning it back over to make sure that I'm not poking over the sides. In Hampshire's been lovely. Are you on the right machine or night machine? I don't even know what that is. Do I want to know? Do I ask or do I not? So this is my base piece and it's going to go like that. And you've got choices. You could pop those round the edge or you can pop it on top. Again, it depends how you've put your sides together as well. So once you've popped your sides together, if you were just creating all four sides glued together, it's going to, then you're going to sit it on top of this. But if you're doing what I'm doing and you're creating it, so your front is going to open and you've got that beautiful seam that you're going to have in there. Just don't glue anything. Don't commit to any gluing until you've decided how it fits better. So for me, it's going to fit better, I think, like this. So just push that right into the corner and see if you've got any overhanging here, not here, and here. So I've got a little bit overhanging there, and a little bit there. So that means that if I bring this round the edge as well, that's going to be the best way for me to put it together. So we will go for it. Let's glue it. I've not put this side on yet. I wanted to put a magnet under there, didn't I? Let me find my magnets. We'll have a play about with a magnetic closure. So let's bring one of these. Now, what I can do is, so that's obviously the outside of the side. So bear with me. So this is it, and I want my front to open. So I want a magnetic closure. Now, what you can do is you could have just a piece of card or paper. I'm trying to see if I've got an oblong piece of paper and can't find one. So what you can do is either on the outside or on the inside have your magnet. So I'm going to have mine on the inside. So bear with me because it's all going to make sense for you in a second. If I'm popping a magnet in, I'm always going to use some red liner tape to secure my magnet first, and then we'll glue over the top. So let me find the end. You're better off not asking. Is it not rude if that is what you mean? It's always funny to look up and see if I've missed anything, and I've obviously missed something. And then you think, do I ask? Do I not? So do I ask or do I not? So let's lift that up there. So I know it looks like I've put that in a random place, but I sort of roughly judged it by where it's sitting here. So if you want it to be bang in the middle, just either using your pencil and ruler or just judging with your glass mat, I can judge that is as near as makes the difference in the middle. Now, you need to put your magnet unless you are going to cut a little circle out so you can embed your magnet into it. Mine are really thin, so I'm not going to do that. But if you're not going to do that, you need to make sure your magnet's far enough in that when you pop this over, you've got enough space here that you're going to be able to glue it down without it it will want to bow. Because even though it's really flat, it's still going to want to bow over it a little bit. So make sure that you've got this far enough in that when you glue that side, you've got a nice connection that's not going to make this bow here, make this lift. So, and I know you're going to see me do this like half a dozen times, but I want to make sure I'm really happy with what I'm doing before I go for it. So firstly, I'm going to pop that to the side because that is just lifting up. So I know I need to trim that the tiniest little bit. So I'm going to bring in my craft knife. This is where it gets scary. Do I use the craft knife? Do I try and use the scissors? Let me find my ruler. I've just left my paper just that little bit too long. I just need to trim it just a tiny little bit without going all the way through, which isn't easy for someone who can be very heavy-handed. Nearly. There we go. And I don't need to worry about that either because, so that's going to go in the corner. So when my house is closed, my house is a library. I can just peel that up because it's just overlapping just a little bit too much. Let's try it again. That's better. It's a little bit messy, so we're just going to bring in a little bit of ink. Just add it down the edge to take that whiteness away, and then we can go all around the edges anyway, because this is the colour we've used on the outside, so it's going to work fine on the inside. I'm not sure if that was fireworks or thunder outside. It was a little bit worrying. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Manchester, the weather is awful. Seriously, I'm mortified to behave like a 13-year-old, but I'm a total fangirl. I caught you when you made for the other place. You were in a different class. Oh, Rachel, thank you very much. That is really, really sweet of you to say. Really lovely. Yes, yeah. And do you know what? It's funny, but I was exactly the same with Debbie Robinson. When I first met Debbie Robinson, I was sort of sat there and I was saying to her, "Can't believe I'm sat talking to you." And you know what Debbie's like? She was like, don't be daft." But yeah, so I know exactly how you feel. You said the other place. I was thinking, now, have you worked at somewhere called the other place? Couldn't think of it. I know what you mean though now. Right, so again, I just trimmed off a little bit because I know that it was the same size as the other one, and when I was folding it, it was catching a little bit. So just trimmed it down. And again, you've seen me do it a dozen times, but I'm gonna, because I want to make sure that I get it done exactly right. When I spoke to you for the first time, Michelle, I was exactly the same. You was so lovely, Gaz, and yeah, it was funny. When I first spoke to Gaz on the phone, he kept saying it. Oh, I can't believe I'm talking to you. And I was like, don't be daft. Right, so we need to create this tab, don't we? So all I'm going to use is either a piece of card or a piece of paper. Just something that's going to cover it sort of up. So what's going to happen is On the inside of the front, we're going to glue the tab, and then we're going to have glue on one side, the magnet on the other side. So let's just bring in a piece of paper. So what I'm saying to you makes much more sense. So because this one's going to be here, I'm trying to look for a piece of paper from the collection that's going to tie in. Now, this is too white, and that's more sepia. So that piece isn't going to work at all. So I'm just going to look through my pile of paper. Oh, that one's going to work. This one's going to work lovely. Because the colour matches, you've got sort of the script on the wall here, and the colour ties in so much better with this particular piece here. Oh, and on the other side as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to trim. So remember me saying about that it needs to be enough space that my magnet's going to glue under it lovely. So we're going to roughly go 1.5 inches. So let's trim 1.5 inches. So that's gonna go on there. That's gonna go over there. Where did I put my magnets? So we're going to stick this to the underside of here, and not with that piece. And we're going to cover it up. So I've got that tab on the inside. But what I could have done, no, I'm happy with that. We're going to pop that on there. And you see how it's going to cover it up? Right, so let's commit to gluing this down. Let me put a little bit of red liner down there. So I'm going to put a bit of red liner down that side. So when I put this on, even with the wet glue, it's going to grab straight away. And just means it's easier to get it all to stick down to nice and flat. So you can see that there's nothing hard with putting these kits together. It comes together so simple. The hardest thing is picking what papers you want to use. There we go. So this is gluing down perfect. I've got no bowing or anything like that because I've made sure that I've brought my magnet in far enough. But again, because we're using mount board, you can cut a little divot out and sort of have your magnet in sort of recessed in there, so it's completely flat. But because this is going to be on the inside of my house, you can't see it. There's no mound or anything like that, so it really, really doesn't matter. So we're going to pop that there. Where is that magnet? I'm just deciding which side I want to use. Decisions. So even though that's there and it's covering this up, what you've got to remember is when I sort of open it up, the magnet, the magnetic closure is going to be gone, so you're still going to get to see the whole of that beautiful artwork. So I want to roughly go 2 inches. So we're going to cut this down to 4 inches. I'm running out of space. 4 inches. Let's just fold that because it's just paper. We're just joking about someone who used to have different PCs for different things. Oh, it sounds like an episode of Baby Reindeer. Different phones for different people. Let's pop a little bit of red liner tape on the back of this magnet. I'm going to lift that. And then when I put this where I want it to be, so that 2 inches, slide it off. Your magnet's going to be exactly where you want it to be then. So mine's gone a little bit too near to that edge. So we're going to try that again. Just peel that little bit of red liner tape off. Although actually I don't need to do it. It should still be far enough down that it's going to grab. Let's add another little piece. Red liner tape is either absolutely brilliant or absolutely useless. Just purely for trying to remove that backing. Right, so folding it in half, let's try that again. Slide it down. There you go, look, I've got it in the middle now. Perfect. That house is going to look amazing when it's done. I want one. Is that a stencil or pre-cut house set? It's a pre-cut house set, guys. You missed the beginning, didn't you? So what you get in the kit is all those pre-cut, this is the mount board, all those pre-cut elements with the actual kit. It's the flower shop. So you've got the roof, you've got all those windows, you've got the outside, you've got the, again, that's the outside of the roof. You've got so many options. You've even got a full sheet of vellum. You have got the instructions, and this is what it comes in. So this is your home sweet home craft kit. But we already, or Ciao Bella already has a video tutorial of how to putting it together. So I thought for mine, we would just do it with some different papers. But what is their last collection? Someone please tell me, because I don't have it. Is it Once Upon a Time, or they have a collection that would be beautiful for weddings? Where it's Cinderella, isn't it? Where she loses the glass slipper. Their last set of collections was very much sort of Cinderella-esque. Perfect for weddings. Right, so that's going to sit there now, and then this piece is going to go. It's entirely up to you. Either glue it to the inside, so when my house is all together, it's going to be sort of a hidden latch. I know let's see if we can turn it this way. So if I do it on the inside, it's a bit of a hidden latch. But if you do it on the outside, not so much of a hidden latch, but then you can make a focal point of it. But again, if you remember that I'm popping this on the front anyway, so it's entirely up to you. It could be an offset door that you could sort of pop to the side, and then when you open it, you've just got that lovely magnetic closure. But I obviously need to pop it all together first. So I think that's it. We're done for that. The only thing that I need to do is cut another piece and cover that up, because I don't want a magnet on display. So I'm going to cut another piece exactly the same. So 2 inches by 4 inches. It's all going to get scored in half. And then again, so what will also do is add a little bit of strength to my closure. So let's close this all up. Gluing that together. And by it being 2 inches, you can see that my magnet's nice and in the middle, and it's going to sit and glue closed beautifully. There we go. So pop that on there and move that all to the side. I've got the same question as Gaz. About the kit, yes. Yeah. So it's all pre-cut, you just need to pop it out and then cover it up either with the papers that come with it or your own papers. So that's gonna go around there again, remember? And now you can see my latch. Let me just give that another bit of a burnish. There we go. And again, if I hadn't have put this on first, I could have had this glued underneath and then you wouldn't have seen it at all. But because I'd not decided if I wanted it to go on the outside or the inside, that's why we're putting it on now. So you can see how it's going to come together. And then when this opens up, there you go. That's how it's going to open. So forgot where my magnets were. Popping that on there. And I think I'm going to glue it to the outside. I think that's going to give me the strongest enclosure. So yeah, definitely glue it to the outside. So what we'll do first is we will glue this on. So just either along the bottom here or along your edge here. Entirely up to you which way you're going to find it easier to do. We're going to pop the glue. So just with my bone folder, I'm just going to make those edges nice and flat. So when I'm popping my glue on, it's going to glue and it's going to stick beautifully. So I'm just popping a few strips down there so I can tack that into it. I just find it easier. We're going to sit that down and I'm going to wrap that round it. And I'm just going to hold it in place just to allow that glue to grab and go off. And it's, yeah, handcrafted by guys. Yeah, you did miss the beginning. You were making wedding favours. You're always so busy. You're like a crafty ninja. Maybe not a ninja, you're a crafting machine. And you're not going live later as well, Gaz. So I'm pretty sure Gaz is doing a live later as well. So when I'm done, if you've not had enough craftiness, then Gaz is going live. Pretty sure you are. Yes, you are. 9:30. Have I got that right, Gaz? So what I'm doing while I'm pressing this in on both sides, I'm also making sure that this is flat to the bottom. So we want it flat to the bottom. So making sure that I'm pressing in from that side and that side, also making sure that it's pressed down. And now if I turn it, you can see that it's nice and flat. And I've got it exactly where I want it. So except for this bit here, I just need to press that a little bit more. And that's the hardest thing about this kit, having to wait just for your glue to go off, which isn't a hard thing at all. It's just, we all like to just get on with it, don't we? And then, so this bit is going to go around. So remembering that the front, I don't need to glue the front bit here to the bottom bit. I just need to glue this bit. So we need to glue across here. So that side will fit, will glue, and I need to glue up the edge for that to fit there. Unless you are wanting the whole of this to open up, then what you would do is you would either with some paper, before you put all your pattern papers off, is create a hinge. But I'm not going to. We're just going to glue that straight and I just want the front to open. So I'm going to just tip that on its side. And I'm gonna see if I normally, when I'm doing this, I've got a paintbrush that I use that allows me to spread it so much easier. So let me stand that there. I don't tend to use one of those glue spreaders. I don't find them. I find them of neither use nor ornament. But I suppose it's whatever you you sort of use, really, doesn't it? We all find different things work for us than others. So now I'm just holding it for a second. Christine! Hello, I don't think you've joined one of my lives yet. Rude. It's nice to see you. Oh, hi. Right, I'm not going to try and pronounce your name at all. But last Ganas Day Pinta, that's it, sorry. She is another, oh my God, amazingly talented Ciao Bella crew member. Hugely inspirational. So if you ever fancy something totally different to what I do, but absolutely amazing teacher, then go give some of her videos a watch. So I am just, we need pressure, but not too much pressure. Just while that glue grabs. Sorry, I'm a working girl now. You are, and not in the way Gaz would be thinking. How's the job going? Are you enjoying it, Christine? Right, so I'm going to be careful with this again. It takes about 40 seconds for your tacky glue to be at its tackiest. So I know that sounds daft, but to be at the optimum grabbability moment. Does that make sense? Now, the reason I know that is if you do the paper, the flower quilling, you know, when you do the quilling of the paper to make all the different flowers and things, when you've got your glue down, you normally wait about 30, 40 seconds before you dip your flower in it to be able to glue it to your card and your flower not open up. So that's how I know that it takes about 40 seconds. So this is looking really lovely. So let me fold that forward. And then you can see my tab's going to grab at the front. So we're going to glue that down because we want the opening to open like that. Handcrafted by Gaz. I'm shooketh. Right, so look how lovely it looks, almost like a row. And then this back and side is where I said I was going to add this. So I absolutely am. I think that's going to look fabulous. But before I do, we're going to glue, we turn it back this way for you. We're going to glue that closed. So I'm going to use tacky because it is just, I think, the best. So excuse the angle just while I add glue there. I'm going to bring it back down and I'm going to hold it over. And again, I'm supporting everything while that front piece takes effect, because what you want is you need this to be tight enough. Let me tip it up for you. You need this to be tight enough on here that it opens and closes with that lovely magnet. If this is loose, my door is going to be hanging open and we don't want it to be. So give that a good sort of press down and push across that way. And then I can turn it round now, and it's the closure is absolutely perfect. It's going to open and it's going to close, and I've got the enclosure on the inside. But remember, so now I've opened it, that image here where my thumb is isn't interfered with at all. Only when it's closed does it cover a bit of that image. Oh, that's better. A bit of that image up. So open it up, I can still see my lamp on my table, close it, but when it's closed, you're not looking in anyway, because we're going to have, this is my roof bit. I couldn't remember if this was my roof bit or not. Just before I bend it, you're going to have your roof on. So roof on, and it's going to be removable or moveable. And then roof off, open it up. We're going to create some lovely scenery in here if you want to. So up against this wall, you could put a little table. And can you remember when I was saying how you can create some little books just with some paper and card? I've got some lovely little bottles, some little vials, things like that. I've got some smaller ones. So you could pop a little table in there if you wanted to, almost like doll's house furniture. If you wanted to, that would look lovely. But let's close that back up, and we're going to pop this on and round. So I can either glue that flat, or I can have it on some either foam pad, or if you want to use some mount board or chipboard to raise it, it's entirely up to you. But I'm going to pop mine on flat. But before I do, I'm going to add a little bit more ink to here, because I want it to stand out just a little bit more from the back. So let me, even on those vines there. Okay. So now when I pop that on, it just pops a little bit more from the background. So again, my glue of choice is going to, let me find my bigger bottle. It might not take me as long then. So bigger bottle. There you go. Look how much quicker was that. It's just I've run out of glue in that little one so quickly. So let's pop that right there. And then just, I got a job just so I can buy papers you tempt me with. I love that. Absolutely love it. I do apologise. Well, sorry, not sorry. Just turn that over, and then just with my, I mean, you could have pre-scored it, but it really doesn't matter. I've just wrapped it round, and then we're just going to trim it off. So I'm going to pop that down. I'm going to bring in my craft knife, and I can trim that there. So you've got that lovely wall going all the way around. Now, this is the bit where you're going to get really excited. You're going to fussy cut so many different elements and have a real good play. I have got somewhere a huge stack of books. Now, I showed you them right at the beginning, didn't I? That I wanted to pop on the back. So how I've got nothing else on my desk except for this whole collection. I'll find it in a minute. But don't forget, so I've got my roof that's going to go on as well. But I've also got this. So this is my little porch that's going to go on the front. Now, I'm not even bothered that I've bent that out a little bit, because it just ties in with the effects that I'm going for. So we're going to pop that right on the front. And I am going to pop it to the right a little bit. So it's going to cover up some of that. And we've got that lovely little offset porch. So again, just some tacky glue. Hot glue if you want. So I'm gonna, I've got it this way so I can see that I'm lining it up with the bottom perfectly. And then I've got that lovely, well, the chess master, guardian of the board, whatever he's called in Harry Potter. He sort of sat back or set back in that lovely porch. So when I bring it now, how lovely does it look just from the top, that roof? So you can't enter because he's not going to let you. But obviously when he does, look how smooth it opens and closes with that lovely magnet. So I'm going to pop that up. In fact, let me open it because I can grab from both sides then to make sure that that glues and sticks. She's terrible. Apparently I want these papers and house kit. Do you want these papers and house kit though, Gaz? These miniature rooms and shops are all the rage in shops and garden centres. They absolutely are. So just by altering it just a little bit so this opens at the front, you can then create, there's so many fussy cutting elements in here. You can create so much inside. You can really go to town if you want, creating all these little miniature books. They're so simple. It's a strip or, well, this one was, what are we? So 2.5 inches of a piece of craft card. The same with a bit of pattern paper. It is 1.5 inches high. And then all I've done on the inside for this particular one is I've got lots of mount board. So just my mount board, and I've just trimmed it up. There's about 6 in here. Glued them all together. I've got my gold pen, my gold marker. It's just a metallic paint marker. And I've done the edges because it always looks nicer when you've got those gold edged books, doesn't it? And you can create very easily a whole row of books on your bookshelf if you want. And again, bringing in your bottles. I've got a few fussy cut elements here. So if you pop a little table in the middle, you've got the little scroll that you can be popping on there. You've got lots of envelopes that you can fussy cut out. You've got that hat, it's not the witch's hat, it's the sorting hat. You've got a book. There's so many. Let me show you them very quickly. So you've got that 6x6 fussy cutting pad. And this is where you're going to get all those little elements. Here we are. There's those fob watchers. You've got piles of books in here. You've got, again, look at all the different books that you've got that you can really, really create scenes with. So it's just a fabulous addition, is that 6x6. So that is nearly it. The only other thing I want to show you, because I'm very conscious of the time, my roof is going to sit on like that, and I do have my chimney. So this is my chimney that we did earlier, and you can see how perfect it fits. Now when you press that down and glue it on, it allows this to close as much as you need it to sit on here. So when I pop that just on now, it wants to open back up because of those 2 layers of paper. But see if I can do it this way. Pop this on and glue it down, and can you see how it's closing it for me? So that's almost like a stopper, something like that, that allows it to stay down, stay at the right angle. So I'm going to quickly, do we use hot glue? Let's use the hot glue. Let's go for it. So I'm going to pop the hot glue just on the inside rather than on the edge, because gravity is going to allow it to come down. So pop that on there and press it down. So with some pressure, we're going to hold it. And with any luck, you're not going to see, can't see any of my hot glue coming out. So hold it for a second, let that glue cool. You're going to use this as inspiration to make a house from corrugated card that I have. Fantastic project, Michelle. Thank you, Caroline. And yes, that is how I used to do all of my projects. Any boxes that we had with something delivered, I used all those boxes, and cereal boxes as well. Glue 2 or 3 pieces together and you've got a real lovely thick card base. Now, if I turn that round, can you see? There you go, look, how it's sitting on there nice and snugly, whereas before, not so much. There you go. So that is, I'm not going to decorate it all up. I'm aware that we've gone way over 2 hours. But how lovely. So again, turning it to the side. If you are gifting this to someone, they can be hiding chocolate in there, because you know me and hiding chocolate. What's that, Christine? Story of my life about the gravity weighing things down. Oh, tell me about it. My daughter has a field day, nicely taking the mickey out of me. But you open it up. Okay, you've got that lovely smooth enclosure, and on each side of these, you can fussy cut all your elements and pop them on with a bit of foam if you want to add dimension to there. That's my favourite bit. You open that up, look, and that's what you see, that beautiful staircase. All my cogs here to give you the illusion of the cogs that are working to allow the door to open and close. And then on this side, you've got the beautiful bookcase. Closes lovely. I've got my faux porch on the front. You could add a door there if you want. I've got someone guarding mine. And then hiding your chocolate, so you're going to put that roof on. So that is it as it is. But I'm definitely going to add lots more elements to really decorate this up. I'm really disappointed that I've lost that huge stack of books that I fussy cut out. But I will find it for you, because it was going to sit right on the back and it was going to fill the whole of that up. But, I'm going to be posting papers once I've finished with all the decoration. But I'm definitely going to be having, I think, something coming out of the roof. I'm not sure what yet. Cobwebs or something. Cobwebs. So did you get that? If you've got some of that, I know that's telling you nothing, is it? That cobwebby stuff, I got it from Crafter's Companion at Halloween last year. That's going to look lovely all over this, definitely. But yeah, that's me done for today. How easy was it just to adapt it, just that little bit, so the roof comes off and the door opens. And you saw me think up my enclosure off the top of my head, just 2 strips of card, and the magnets. So yes, I'm done. I'll put it down. I'm done. I'll decorate it up and I will post pictures for you later, definitely. Wow, that's gorgeous. Thank you. Tissue paper can come out the chimney, absolutely. Cotton wool, if you've got some cotton wool and you want to sort of pull that about, pull it, if I didn't have hands, I wouldn't be able to talk, can I just say? But yeah, absolutely. And looking down the map, so from every single angle, you are seeing something different, something exciting, and something fun, definitely. I love the houses, or the shops, aren't they? They're just, every single paper in this is absolutely gorgeous. Odds 29, this is amazing. Thank you so much. Right. So I am done. I will let you all get off, get some breakfast, dinner or tea, depending on where you are. Look forward to seeing the finished house. Yeah, thank you. I've got a tuna and mayo sandwich waiting for me for my tea. I don't have it before because I get hiccups when I talk a lot. That's so wow, Michelle. Thank you, Kirsty. Yeah, when I talk a lot, I end up getting hiccups. I don't know why. So you can imagine how often I've got hiccups. So I didn't eat my tea before because I thought hiccups and a tuna sandwich don't go very nicely together, do they? So So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to go grab that now, and then I'm going to decorate this up. But again, I'm definitely going to pop a little table in there and have lots of this ephemera on there, my little bottles. With that bottle, all I've done is I've just cut a strip of paper and just wrapped it round, and I've just put some little gems in there. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have a lot of fun doing that. So thank you all so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you have too. And as always, if you've got any questions, either pop them in the comments below, because I always come back and check the comments regular to make sure that I've not missed anything. On my Facebook or Instagram, you can either message me or pop a message on there if you've got anything that you want to see. I am back next Thursday with Ciao Bella again. This was a special because of this kit being released. My usual is going to be next Thursday. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but I'm sure it's going to be with one of the new collections. In fact, maybe next week we start the album that I was saying. So next week we'll start making an album, the main workings of it. And then the week after, we will carry on my own page, and be adding all those pages and that. So that's what I'm thinking. So I'll be speaking to Luana. I'm really hoping that's how you say it. That's how it looks like it's pronounced. So see what she thinks about that. And then we'll have a little series over maybe the next 4, 5, 6 Thursdays of the album from start to finish. So obviously the bindings and then all the different pages inside. So next week it will be Ciao Bella's page. The week after, my YouTube. But as always, I will be popping all the links and everything on for you. So just one more look all the way through. Doesn't it look lovely? So thank you everyone for joining me. I know I do keep saying goodbye, but definitely this time I will, any questions, just drop me a message. And I will see you. Oh, don't forget, Gaz is going live at 9:30 tonight. So pop on over there. I'm popping in over there, so I'll probably see you all over there. So bye for now. Why can I never find my mouse when I say goodbye? Say goodbye, and then it takes me 3 minutes to find my mouse. But I found it. So thank you so much, and I will see you all next week.